I bought this for my wife. It's a Model 3 Performance. The reason I had to buy a Performance is because I particularly wanted a white interior, because I think they look classy. So some of the differences I noticed between this and the Model 3, on the Model S, which is what my car is you have to actually link. So in the case where you've got more than one person using the car, each person has to get a Tesla app on their phone. So you've got to become a Tesla user. So you use your email address to register with Tesla. So each person needs to do that. Then the person who bought the car has to request Tesla service to give the other user access to their VIN. Now when that happens, both people will see the Tesla car come up on their Tesla app. So for people that haven't got a Tesla, there's a Tesla app that you download, it's free. Cars aren't free. So there's the Model 3, it's telling me doors open, bonnet's open. So they're the registered things. So you've got a Powerwall, my other Model S and the Model 3. So once the phone's registered with a car like this, the phone becomes the key. So the Model S and the X, you've got this thing. So I can give that to someone, they walk up, it'll unlock the car, they walk away, they lock the car. If you give someone their credit card for Model 3, they walk away from the car doesn't lock. So that comes as quite a shock to me, but if you've never had a Tesla before, that's all right. If you've registered the car on this app, so you can see it on the app, and then the next thing you do is you've got to pair the phone with the car. So there's two parts, getting the car on the phone and then pairing the car with the phone. When you walk away from the car having done that, it will lock. So be careful, there's been reports of people wandering away from their car and coming back hours later and realising they never locked it. So if you're using the key, you put the key here and it'll lock and then you can walk away. If you're using your phone, you can just walk away. All right? So that was one of the things, it's a difference that I found. The next thing I found, and I'd recommend, is if you get in the car, you can set PIN to drive. So if you set PIN to drive, when you get in, press the brake pedal. You've got to put in your PIN, press the allow button, you can drive it. So if someone nicks your phone or your credit card, which has happened, this is why the PIN to drive was started, because there was a young fatality in the States, and Tesla responded by rolling out PIN to drive to all Teslas. So the facility is there. You've got to enable it in the settings. When you get your car, if you're in the ACT, it's got transport mode on the dash. Has anyone seen that? I'll show you a photo. You did?
Yeah, it was on when I got mine.
Right. The password to get it out of transport is transport all lowercase. There you go. Thank you.
The guy on the phone was setting it up and he's like, is it all looking good? I'm like, it says the big word transport. He's like, oh, whoops. Yeah,
that's it.
Told me that.
So if it's delivered to you, it's got transport. Yeah, that was that. So I had to figure that one out. Okay, now another one for people that haven't got a Model 3, if you want to get the 1,500 kilometres free supercharging, there's been a lot of people that have missed out because they haven't actually used the referral code properly. So unlike Model S and Model X, if you don't order the car through the referral code, there's no way to retrospectively apply the referral. You used to be able to do that, now you can't. So if you're going to order the car and you want to get the free supercharging, choose the referral code supplier, which would be any existing Tesla owner. Choose me. But like the other people like Tesla Bjorn and all those guys, they're getting hundreds of referrals because people are using them all the time. I've got referrals because I use my own referral code to buy the car. Which was funny because when it came up in the app, it says I got 3,000 free kilometres. Like, oh, that's really good because I got one for someone using my code and then I got one for using a code. So you have to go to that code, press on the code, it will take you to the ordering page and you can order your Tesla and you get the 1,500. And if you don't do it, the only way to undo it is you've got to cancel your order, get a refund and reorder. Don't ask me how I know that. Okay, so we've talked about scheduled charging and charge speed, that's really good. Talked about, so setting up driver profiles, you can set up driver profiles. So you only have to set the car up once for each driver, save it as a profile. Like I go for trips often and I let the other people drive because I think maybe they'll love Teslas so much they'll buy one to use my referral code. Hasn't happened yet, but at least they've got driver profiles in my car, so the next time we go on a trip they can find their profile and set it all up. There's one good profile to set up. Obviously with these sorts of cars, curbing the rims is really easy. You see it all the time. My car actually got delivered with free curb rash on the left front. So the tip from that is from Mark Tipping, the president of TOCA, said set up a reverse profile. When you drop it into reverse profile, the mirrors drop down so you can see your rear wheels. So if you're going through a parking garage and the exit, you know, you're obviously getting the car right out. You can be looking at the curb on the left rear or the right rear to make sure that you're not going to grind the rim on the curb. That's really common.
So there's no automatic reverse mirror adjustment?
When you put it in reverse, the mirrors will go down. So have a reverse profile for when you're going forward. So if you're going forward through tight car parking spaces, you can watch your rims. Because the only time I've ground my rims is actually going forward. If you look in the boot, have you seen the deep footwell in the boot? Mm-hmm. So some people pull this thing out and you're loading stuff like whatever you've got in the boot. And the American dudes say, don't just pull it out. It's actually designed to just flip up like it's on a hinge and it'll rest against the back. So you can flip it up and rest it on the back. And interestingly, in the Model S, it's got one of those. It's actually designed, it's got a little hinging bit. It'll hinge and actually fit down inside. So Tesla have actually thought about the boot on this particular car and designed that hatch and everything so it fits perfectly. It's flipped up now. These guys. So moving around the car, I'm allowed to touch the car because it's my wife's car. They're recommending that you wrap the console. So the console's that shiny black plastic, and you can get various wraps to cover it with, like a carbon fibre wrap. The point is the shiny black piano finish is very soft, and if you rest anything on the finish, it will actually scratch. So wrapping it can be an option, and you can get choice of wraps and stuff, and it's just a sticker that goes over it. You can peel it off later. There's another feature called cabin overheat protection. Have anyone heard of that? So if the battery's over 20% and the car's over 40 degrees, the air conditioning will come on. When your battery gets to 20%, it automatically turns off.
So this is in addition to dog mode?
That's in addition to dog mode. So dog mode's the same. You have to be careful with dog mode because dog mode will also turn off at 20%. So there's a couple of air conditioning settings in the car. If you have the air conditioning on, if you're running errands, especially at Christmas time, you can set your air conditioning to stay on. So even if you lock your car and walk away, when you come back, the air conditioning will be on. And there's dog mode. The difference between always on and dog mode is in dog mode, the steering wheel control to adjust the air conditioning is actually disabled. That's to stop the dog accidentally changing the air conditioning. And that was a software upgrade after a complaint, right? Yeah, thought that was interesting. Okay, rightio. In the trunk, the American guys are saying the trunk, you get all American because it's trunk and front. Because boot and fruit doesn't work as well as trunk and front. You've got these handles here. So rather than grasping the car and leaving dirty marks, or if you've been down a dirty road and the car's dirty, you can grab this handle here and reef it down and close the boot. There's another feature called Easy Access. You can set it up on the driver profile. So it changes the seat. So it's really easy to get in and out of the car. Then when you're ready to go, press the brake pedal, the seat will actually return to your driving position. Now you have to be a little bit careful with that because if you've got someone sitting behind you and you put the car in park, the seat will move back and could cause some discomfort to the person behind you. So you can make a judgment about easy access. Okay, I thought it was quite interesting. You've got electric door handle here. If you're immersed in water and the battery's short out, you can still get out of the car because there is a mechanical door handle here. People say the cars are expensive and they're going to wait to buy the car. And it's a really hard analysis. I'll try to get my hand around it. You know, we're looking at less than 1% of vehicles on the road are EVs. So we're going to have a rise for 10 years where Tesla and EV makers are selling as many cars as they can produce. So the idea that cars are going to get cheaper, I can't understand how that's going to happen. The only time they're going to get cheaper is when you've got the current situation where dealers are stacked up their car yards, and you know it's getting to the end of the year and they've got to get rid of the 2019 cars before 2020. You can go in and get yourself a good deal. But with these cars, they're not that year specific. They haven't changed the Model 3. The Model S had one facelift. It's been in production for 7 years. And so I can't really see what downward pressures are going to make the car cheaper. So then the next thing is, if the car's not going to get cheaper, if you delay your purchase, all you're doing is delaying the benefit. Because the car's actually engineered to last for 1 million miles. That's 1.6 million kilometres. So this car for me is a willable asset because it's going to keep going long after I die. So if I delayed 5 years before it could be cheaper, all that's going to happen is I get 5 years less use out of the car. I've delayed the benefit. So obviously you've got to be able to afford the car, but delaying is just delaying the benefit. Now, and then I come at it from the other way. If you're driving a fossil car now, the best money you're going to get for your fossil car now is now. It's not going to be worth any more in 2 years or 3 years. So if you can realise the maximum value for your fossil car now, that's going to give you the deposit for the Model 3.